Alright guys, got two t-shirts here, both of the same kind, just two different colors from the company Mott and Bow, which is the jeans I reviewed the other day. This is how they came in this plastic bag. Nothing too fancy, but I do believe when you order regularly through them, it comes in a really nice package and box presentation. But anyways, let's take a look at what these are. Okay, right off the bat, they feel like cotton, really nice hand feel. Made in Peru. These are size extra large. Let's see, 100% cotton. Made in Peru, designed in New York. Machine wash cold with light colors only. Do not bleach, tumble dry. And then has the international codes there for the washing instructions, like it's supposed to. So this is a $35 shirt on the Mott and Bow website, and it's called, let's see there, what's it called here? The Driggs. So it's the Driggs shirt. 100% cotton, really nice hand feel. And so we'll take a look at it with the overhead camera. Basic construction though. I guess certain things we're going to want to look at is we're going to want to check the fit. We're going to want to check the shrinkage. And we're just going to want to see the appearance after wash. Does it lay flat? What happens to the collar? I guess that's about it. Those are kind of the important things. And does it keep its hand feel too? Because you know sometimes garments can be prepared with some kind of softener on the fabric, and then as soon as you take it home and wash it, and you wash off that mill's finish, it doesn't ever get back to where it was when you first bought it. But anyways, I don't suspect that will happen. So let's take a look using the overhead camera and go over a couple of things, and then we'll try it on. So stick around. It should be a good one. Okay, so basic construction. Just a overlocking side seam and regular cover stitch on the bottom hem and the sleeve hem. We have an extra wide collar here, which we'll see what we think about that once we wash it and wear it. But it looks like it'd be comfortable. It's a self fabric. It's not like a rib, which I like that, because with those rib fabrics, sometimes the collar shrinks up a little bit, pulls tighter than you'd like around the neck. Anyways, screen printed or heat seal, I guess, logo label in the neck. So it's tagless there. The tag is just in the side seam, and just a regular back, nothing to it. So let's check a couple of measurements, and then we'll see how this thing fares it after wash. So real quick here, let's check the chest. This is once again an extra large. It's measuring what looks like to be 45.5 in the chest, and our center back length 28. Perfect. So let's wash it. We'll see what kind of shrinkage we get, and then we'll try it on. Just for some information, this is Peruvian cotton. So the difference between, say, your basic Egyptian cotton, which is top of the line, American cotton, Pima cotton, and then once again Peruvian cotton, is Egyptian cotton, the staple, the length of each fiber is going to be what we call an extra long fiber, and it's going to run 38 to 44 millimeters, and it's the longest staple cotton there is. Then American cotton runs about 25 to 30 millimeters, which is good for just your normal regular cotton. That's what we call a long staple. Brazilian cotton is a little bit better than, a little bit longer than American cotton, as well as Peruvian. And then you have brands, which is the American brand Supima, which is extra long staple, and Pima, which is also extra long staple, and those are going to be also greater than 34 millimeters, and you pay premium price for them. So if it says Peruvian cotton, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's Pima cotton, and vice versa. Anyways, this here, Peruvian cotton, the length of the staple, really, you can't feel a difference. Usually a longer staple means it's stronger, so you can make a finer yarn. Not something that you're necessarily going to do in a t-shirt anyways. The weight of this t-shirt fabric is 140 GSM, so it's a middle type weight, what I would call for a t-shirt, neither heavy or light. I would say 150 GSM is your average, so 140 is right there in the ballpark. So an extra long staple fine cotton is not really necessarily even something that would make it nicer. Maybe even a fluffier, shorter length, bulkier yarn might even feel like a little bit more loft to it and might feel nicer. So don't let those words kind of sway you into thinking that something's going to be better for any particular reason. As a matter of fact, a lot of the reasoning that it does make it better, like strength and things like that, don't even apply to the consumer. It's more in the yarn maker, or the spinner, and how it affects him and what he has to do, than it does, say, to the end consumer. Anyways, once again, let's shrink it and see what kind of shrinkage we get, and then we'll try it on. So stick around. Oh, I did want to add one more thing. I have a second color, so we should check that color and do the same thing. Same fabric, same brand, same Driggs. Everything's the same. And let's just check real quick our chest. $45.25, and center back length 29. We've got a little bit longer. And just want to check that center back length again on this one, because an inch variation is pretty significant. Yeah, there we go, 28.5. Okay, I'm glad we double checked. All right, wash them up and let's see what we get. Okay, so here we are straight out of the wash, and as you can see, the general appearance is still good. I mean, this has a lot to do with your technique in washing and especially drying. You know, if you overload your dryer with clothes, the garments can't open up while they dry, and they're going to come out more wrinkled. Also, of course, the dryer sheets, which, this being 100% cotton, I recommend you use softener and a dryer sheet. It's going to maintain that soft hand feel and even improve it, and get rid of static. So anyways, though, no spandex. If we would have had spandex in here, probably you wouldn't have even had any of this wrinkling. But also, one of the things you can do, just kind of like as a little hack to prevent wrinkles, is take it out of the dryer before it's fully dried and put it on a hanger, and the wrinkles should drop out. Anyways, though, most important thing is the shrinkage. That's what we're checking for. We had 45.5-inch chest, I believe, on this one. Let's check. That was before wash. And now 44.5. So lost an inch. And then center back length, I think we were 28.5 before wash. And here we're still at 28 3/8, so we didn't lose anything in the length at all. Now, one of the things we always talk about with any type of apparel is going to be fit. And some people talk about, having a tapered fit for more athletic fit or maybe a looser fit. If you can kind of tell just from the image here on the table, this is a t-shirt, and no matter what they tell you, t-shirts are always going to be cut square. You can see here, there's no shape whatsoever. It's straight down. Every t-shirt I've ever done on this channel has always had that. I mean, maybe some come in a little bit here at the waist, but it's just ever so minor. But for the most part, this is just a t-shirt is basically the body, at least, is a box. Where you're going to get all the fit is, once again, the chest measurement, which will also influence the sweep at the bottom, since it's going to be the same number practically. And as you can see, we were, 44.5 at the chest, and here we are 44.5 at the sweep. So that kind of lets you know where you're really going to get your fit is up here. What's your shoulder length? What's your neck drop? This is going to be if it's going to be up against your throat or not. What's your armhole opening? What's your bicep? Here the bicep measurement. This is kind of a shorter sleeve. Is about 14.5. Just so this is going to be tied on my arm. But that's basically the armhole opening. These are the places where the shirt's really going to be influenced on the fit. So anyways, let's take a look at the darker one, see if we got the same shrinkage, which is basically losing an inch in the chest. And other than that, everything was the same. Okay, so just like the lighter color one, basically the appearance 100% cotton. All the wrinkles have dropped out. It's really not bad at all. That's just the function. Like I said, a lot of that is influenced by the person who does the washing and drying and the softener use. It's not so much in the quality of the fabric in this particular case, at least. Here, our chest measurement. Yeah, we're close to 44.75, where we were 45.25 before. So a little bit less shrinkage, but we did lose about half an inch in the chest. The overall length, I think we were 29 before wash, and now we are 28 3/8. So this one we did lose a little bit. Actually, the after wash on the two shirts pretty much matches up, and that's another technique that's important in the actual sewing of t-shirts. People don't put a lot of thought into it in the quality of t-shirts, but actually they're very difficult because they're so stretchy. These knit fabrics, it's very easy to stretch them out while you're sewing, and then you end up way over spec before wash. But once you wash them, they're going to return to where they want to be, which is their unstretched position. But it's especially when you're setting this collar, and as you can see here, the collar is joined. There's a seam right there, you can't see it, but the collar is made to length, probably measured before it's set on the shirt, and that's controlling this whole neck opening, because this is all bias. This would just pull open. You could make it inches different if you're not careful. And same thing with the sleeves. To have the sleeve opening come out consistent is also very difficult. There's a lot of technique and skill that goes into that from the operator to make sure that when they're setting the sleeve to the body, that they don't stretch this out and just make it huge, and actually that the sleeve matches up at the start and the end to the body, so that way the side seam operator is not tempted to trim anything off. Because like I said, even though before wash the garment might look big, after wash it's going to be we want to return to its normal state. And if anything was trimmed off in the sewing, and it measured fine before wash, after wash it'll come out small. So anyways, let's try them on, see what they look like. One's 100% cotton, so these are going to be, for me, casual wear, not necessarily athleisure. They're going to be good for everyday wear. So let's see what they look like on and sum things up. Alright, so this is what the shirt looks like on, and actually very fond of this fit. This is perfect for me. This is their extra large, if I didn't mention that earlier. It's not restrictive whatsoever. It's not even tight around my arms. It's just like a good fit. And that's where I want the fit. I want it to be in my arms, not, of course, here in the waist. I want it to be loose. And one of my biggest complaints about t-shirts in general is that they tend to ride back on me, and then this pulls up against, the collar pulls up against my throat. So this one seems to be staying in place. So I'm really fond of it. The shirt is a little bit on the lighter side of t-shirt weight and very comfortable, so I also like that. This collar is just fine for me. So anyways, let's try on the dark colored one and see how that looks, and then we'll talk about them both. Okay, so the dark color one, just like the light one, no difference. If anything, this one's fitting me a little bit tighter here in the arm, so maybe we've got a little bit more shrinkage there. But the being tight in the sleeve is not something that really makes, it actually, for me, is a benefit. I think that we don't want our arms to look like pencils in, you know, a cup type of thing. So I think the smaller the sleeve, the better. Where we don't want to be tight is anywhere across the chest, because once again, like I mentioned before, there's two things that I really have difficulty with t-shirts. And one is when they're small on me, they run tight across the chest. It also pulls the collar straight and wants it to bring it up against your throat. Or just in general, that the shirts tend to have, I guess the way they're cut, they tend to want to ride backwards or slide back throughout the day, and then I'm constantly pulling my shirt forward. So this one doesn't seem to have that effect. I feel like this is hitting me just in the right spot, and so I'm really happy with it. So anyways, that kind of sums things up. Mott and Bow. I did the pants about 2 weeks ago. Now I've just done this. This is the Driggs t-shirt, which I'm very satisfied with. Highly recommend them if y'all want to go out and get yourself a pair. Keep watching my videos. Please give me a thumbs up. Comment below. Subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you in the future. Continue to dress smart.